Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Set my heart on
I'm reaching out, but all I feel is hollow. I wanna make you work, but all I do is make you worse. The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. Don't you wanna come over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. From London to Taiwan, I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. With crimson secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Set my heart on fire.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe
rather ironic as well, John, because I was saying yesterday, I got really stable connections to SCA, but there you go, I jinxed myself, and now I'm getting 300 ping. Still won the game though, just FYI.
Hey, you got to flex at the end there. You know what it is, Mike? It's the spiders. It's either you don't have enough spiders or you have too many spiders. It's one of the two things. Your web is either really weak or your web's way too strong. I don't know which one it is, Mike.
Neither do I, John. You just gotta accept it and let it go, I guess. Because this matchup, Boom Esports probably looking to be the favorites going into this. I mean, obviously with the return of Dream Missile to the team, very star-studded kind of lineup here from Boom Esports. What do you think XctN's chances are? I mean, they are coming off a 0-2 loss up against TNC yesterday. Bit of a rough matchup. Obviously, there was a lot of internet connection issues. Do you think this is going to be a close matchup, John?
30 seconds to battle.
There's potential. Like the panel pointed out, the draft of XctN looks a bit stronger, looks more in line with, say, how the patch is, although both drafts are kind of similar to the last patch. But I feel like Boom does have a pretty good chance here. We were having a bit of a chat while the draft was going on. The Bloodseeker last pick, canceling out effects of Stampedes. You're always going to have one hero stuck. You've got the Dream Coil and Bloodrite combo, which is really potent as well. There's a lot of early fights Boom can play around, and they're not really beholden to any long cooldowns here for those fights as well.
Banner is being taken. BDZ gonna say hello to XctN. XctN will chase him down a little bit, but doesn't even bother popping the battery assault. Walk away and leave it at that. You do get to have a cheeky peek at the mid lane. John Yoe is going to be up against Makoto. And we've seen this Void Spirit versus Puck matchup many times. Still believe it is probably slightly favoring the Puck, but it can go either way. And we know Makoto in that mid lane. He is very dominant. So I'm very curious to see how Yoe does go up against this Puck.
Yeah, I mean, the tricky part here for the Void Spirit is that you're not going to be able to necessarily contest the other water rune. Mikado should always have a free ride. He's got the Illusory Orb to gap close. You've got really good rotation potential from Boom's supports. Clockwork plus Mirana are just more threatening than, say, Phoenix and Lion. So you're always going to have to watch for that potential. Black mentioned it a bit, but you're always going to watch your back there as the mid. And once that support is missing, you might always be thinking twice. Like, are they rotating on me? Are they smoked up? So we'll see if Yoa can kind of cope with that pressure that might come out onto mid.
Fair enough. That top lane, you'll see Dream Missile there, along with XctN as they go in now with an Earth Spike. Bloodrite has been laid out, but it's a lot of damage being thrown out by Nico. Dream Missile forced to very fire up as XctN. He'll keep going after Nico and might be able to secure the kill, but BDZ is going to ensure that doesn't happen. The Earth Spike out on the line, and well, close call for both teams, but both cores end up getting away. I say that, here we go again. Bloodrite not going to really land. XctN may have gone a bit too far in. Nico, luckily for XctN, was unable to get the hoof stomp off, and the Clockwork just his way up.
Yeah, you're pretty happy about this for Boom. Like, you're forcing out a carry out of the salve. Nico does get it behind his tier 1, so you kind of recover in that lane, but you still do have a lot of potency here for Boom. Like, the moment you get level 2, and it is up now in XctN, you get the cogs on top of Bloodrite, and that could just be a straight up kill with damage you have on hand.
Bot lane as well, John. We've got Palos there on the Jug, along with his Phoenix RR. You have FBZ on one of his signatures. You've got the Timbersaw there for FBZ, and the Hyde will be right behind him on the Mirana. We have seen a lot of Timbersaw out from FBZ before throughout multiple tournaments, and he does seem to be very stable on this hero. Just always frontlining for the team, making space, pushing out lanes, and overall just being a real nuisance to deal with.
Yeah, and he's holding that lane really well. The Jug isn't under too much pressure. Palos is still finding his last hits. RR is doing a fine job of trying to zone out Hyde there. And as long as your Jug is finding farm, you don't really care too much about the Timbersaw. At some point, you will have to abandon lane once you get that level 6 spike. And FBZ is already at level 3, so reactive armor is in full gear. The kill potential here, it's kind of there, but without any solid way of locking down with a Phoenix laning partner, the best you can do is just sustain. And for that, Palos is just fine. Your Jug should still hit its timings. Curious to see whether or not Palos goes for the Battle for You build, or if he opts for the Maelstrom. We'll have to see down the line, but of course, if you go for The Battle Fury, you're going to be farming a lot faster than, say, a Bloodseeker, as the Bloodseeker tends to want to fight earlier on, so Execration might look towards gearing their carry towards a longer game, whereas Boom might look to, you know, just playing fast with the Bloodseeker. We already see Dreamusal queuing up his Maelstrom, so we already know what ideas Boom have on hand. It's just down to seeing how Execration responds to that pacing. Oh, arrow mid.
Mid lane, Hyde, he's got a nice arrow there into the Waning Rift. Is it going to be enough? Not quite. Yoe able to get the Resonant Pulse off, but he needs to be a little bit cautious about that positioning. Always go back in a couple seconds. Ate the Remnant. It landed. Well, Water Runes are spawning up. RR, he managed to get one of the Phoenix. Harasses Hyde out a little bit more. I think if you are Boom Esports, you're okay with that. Being able to kind of abuse the mid lane a little bit. As top lane, there is a bit of action going on there for a second. Dreamusal, he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, it's the one thing with these supports you have on hand for Boom. The moment the Marauder or the Clockwork's off the lane, you always got to be really aware of what's happening around the map. He could get caught out. The arrow came in, doesn't line up for a kill, but it's always the threat that makes it hard for that mid to hold on.
Oh, BDZ very low up in that top lane. XctN wants to secure the kill, but they'll give it over to Dreamusal now. They can go on to Nico, and Nico, he can make a run for it, but it's not going to be very effective.
Radiant's courier
Dreamusal gets a double kill on the Bloodseeker to get things started, plus the first blood gold. Oh, very nice. It's even bot lane, Palos. Be very cautious here. FBZ, he knows how to really push this hero to its limits.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Palos, he'll play on the edge along with the Timber, but actually goes for the spin now. FBZ will have another chains up. He's just going to stand his ground as Hyde is moving in. Palos, has he overstayed his welcome? Yeah, he has. What I just talked about, John, you've got to be careful with this Timber. The man knows what he's doing.
I mean, Boom's off to a fantastic start. Finding that kill is big. The bigger thing was that they stalled out the Ring of Health coming in. FBZ managed to snipe the Courier, so the sustain isn't quite there for the Jug. The moment your Phoenix leaves you, you're a sitting duck. The cooldown on your Blade Fury is just too long to sustain against the openings that a Timbersaw has, so the burst damage is on hand there for FBZ, and Boom are just working this map really well. Dreamusal pretty much has a free lane up top. Nico is just trying to maximize his efficiency with that large camp right now, but you're giving a Bloodseeker free farm and your Jug isn't getting the same in return. It's not good news for Execration. Even the mid lane there for Yo is just not smooth.
Well, they're really fighting over this regen rune right now. Makoto popping the Dream Coil, but RR comes in and swipes it away. Just not wanting to give it over to the Void Spirit as mid lane. Now XctN taking a bit of damage, but he's also going to be just fine. Bron surviving in that mid lane, but a real scuffle. Yoe, he's going to jump right back in onto Makoto for a second. Really commit all the way, just wants to kind of scare the puck a little bit, but that'll be it for now. Yoe, I think he's going to maybe just go all the way back to the fountain.
You see the commitment here from Boom. They're much more active in contesting these runes, and I think that's twice over now where Yoa, he's got a bottle, he hasn't been able to refill up. The water rune was contested at one point, you saw RR pick that up, now he just has to walk home, and it's never a good feeling on mid when you've got a bottle that just never gets topped up outside of maybe your bounty runes. So again, Boom just exerting that pressure on the map. They're all over the place, and they've got some really good level spikes. Dreamusal's 2 levels above Nico, level 6 up on the Bloodseeker. They could really look to play aggressive, although Execration is lining up for top.
Yeah, this is a very smart rotation from Yoe if they can get the initiation off, and they're going to go in with their Hex now, but it's way too close to that tier 1 tower. Even Hyde was TPing in on the Mirana, but does end up cancelling that off. And had they gotten the Bloodseeker kill, it would have been worth a hell of a lot for Execration. But again, just not able to find the initiation. Very unfortunate stuff for Execration thus far.
This is not very efficient map usage for Yo. He's still stuck up top. He doesn't have a TP. He TP'd for that movement. So Palos is forced to be down mid. He's forced to just kind of get that farm, which is great, but it opens up the bot lane for a push. FBZ tanking the tower, getting some hits off with Hyde. They're going to be able to trade a tier 1, and Execration's not in position to take any of their own objectives. Clear up that map evenly.
It's definitely a bit of a precarious spot now for Execration, as that bot tier 1 tower going to go down very easily here with FBZ and Hyde. They could still try to pressure top side of the map, but It's looking rather difficult, but it looks like they might even try.
Radiant's
They're
bottom
going up to
tower is under
XctN,
Radiant's bottom tower
but
has
they can't
fallen.
get the clock either. So XctN's fine. The Execration, as much as they're trying, they're not able to find the opening yet.
Feels like there's a coordination issue here. Yoa is looking for targets. He wants to jump in, but this time around, BDZ was too far away to follow up with the Earth Spike and Hex. So maybe clear up those lines of communications. If they want to go for a target, I mean, Yoa's at level 7. That's the point where the Void Spirit really wants some pickoffs. Even without items, you just want to bully someone down. No openings on hand, no kills for Execration yet, and Boom with a tower up. This is the point where FBZ is just going to go ham on the bot lane, so you've got one less lane to play with here for Execration.
You're always trying to play around in that mid lane. Makoto, he's been very disciplined, just farming up on that puck. Meanwhile, top lane, Nico got ruptured. He's not going to die, though. He'll be just fine. Again, you won't really mind missing kills here for Boom. As long as Dreamersaur's freely farming like this, he's more than happy. You could make the same argument for Palos, but I think Palos is going to take a little bit more time on the Jug to really be up and online. Dreamersaur has that really nice kind of mid-game timing on the Bloodseeker that he can go back to.
Yeah, it's one thing with Jug against Bloodseeker. When you go for the Battle for your build, it just takes such a long time to cook it up. Dreamersaur without any items is a bit faster in that jungle. He's already got his Javelin up into the Maelstrom. And you're hitting all these spikes in the Bloodseeker that the Jug just can't really match up at this point. Now, there is some space for Palos bot at the least. FBZ is just not really fully committing to just be a nuisance down there, but the rest of the map's just kind of controlled up here by Boom.
I think FBZ's just been able to sit there forever, as he wants to. Yoe, he's going to try and run away now. XctN's moving in. Yoe still has no Astral Step charges. They're going to dive him for this. They know. FBZ gets the Chakram out with the Dream Core now. The Stampede was popped, but it's a bit too late. Or maybe not. They still have Yoa alive. Maybe he can survive a little bit longer as they do finally get him down. But Nico, he will try to punish FBZ for this. But there's no hell. It's a call. He's not dying. And they're going to that mid-tier 1 tower now with the siege creep. And this is what you call perfect timing, John. They get the kill on the Void Spirit, and they have a siege creep ready in the mid lane to push down that tier 1 tower. You couldn't have asked for anything better.
And they just have so much to play with on Doom's end. Look at Vico, level 7 in center. They are TPing in for a counterfight. Too late?
It is definitely too late. Now the map's open. Suddenly, life for Palos has gotten a lot harder on that Jug as he's going to have to find some other places to farm now. Boom can just kind of start getting themselves into this Radiant side jungle and being very annoying here for this carry Jug. See what Execration does about this, but they are yet to pick up their first tier 1 tower, and of course that is a pretty big point of concern.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't even found a kill. 0-4, 4k lead for Boom. They do have level 6 up on BDZ. That could be an opportunity, but they don't have Egg yet on their Phoenix. RR is still a bit behind on that Phoenix support. Boom now, they've got their own hook shot up, so XctN can look to line up some shots if he wants to. Execration, they need to play around with his finger. If you don't find your first few finger kills, it just feels like the line's not getting the impact you want. So you got to get that spell on cooldown, and you got to find a target to jump here. Softest targets for Boom, probably the Clockwork, maybe the Bloodseeker if you can catch him out alone. But they're just going to line up for a top tier 1 push. Boom, they're playing smart. They're just playing everywhere else. Like, they know where Execration wants to focus. They're getting farm elsewhere. They're much more efficient on the map. And Execration, their push isn't amazing. Like, their push is basically just Centaur standing in front.
Here we go. XctN, he's going to start a team fight here. Along with Makoto, they'll go right on to Nico. And with the FBZ Timber, it is not going to be hard to get through the HP pool of the Centaur. And Execration, they're going to smoke up. I'm not really sure for what.
For the twins.
Maybe go after the Mirana in that mid lane.
Illusion!
It seems like a very desperate kind of smoke. And
Yeah,
it's going to lead
it's,
to nothing. They found nothing with it.
It's the pressure they're feeling to get this finger off. Like, they know they've got to make a move out with Yoa. They know they've got to pop that finger. They need to stop this Bloodseeker, and they do walk the right way.
They do, but Dreamersaur knows about this. He's very good with game sense here, Dreamersaur. He is under vision now, just barely, so they know he's farming, but he seems to be very well aware of what they're up to. And in all fairness, everyone was missing off the map, but Palos on the jug, so I suppose maybe it was kind of obvious. As Hookshot top lane now, they have found themselves another Centaur, though Nico is going to pop the Stampede and try and run, but the Dream Coil is there in time. They've locked him down. They'll take him out. Yoe, he's going to TP up to try and fight this with the finger, but no one gets charged down. Makoto, what reaction timing on the phase shift. Hyde, he's not even going to die either. He'll leap right away on the Mirana, and now Yoe, he's been ruptured up. He really can't move. He will Astral Step away, but FBZ is right in underneath that tier 1 tower, and they'll get another. It's clean, John. 0 to 8, 5k net worth lead for Boom Esports. It is a perfect game so far for Boom.
They haven't lost one hero. Boom is probably going to be yelling at the one guy who dies, even if it's a support. XctN right now, I mean, they've got Egg, they've got some tools to play with, but you're just seeing the counterplay from Boom. Stampede's on? Okay, drop the Dream Coil, you're stuck there. Void Spirit jumps in, alright, Rupture's off, you can't run. And they just had all the answers from the draft. XctN, they need to coordinate as a team here. We're not seeing enough items come out, especially on Nico. He's got the Hood of Defiance and the Vanguard. He really needs a blink to set up for his team. Like, someone needs to follow up with Yoe, and Yoe can jump in, but no one else is as mobile as him, so he's kind of stuck like a dead fish out of water. He just needs someone else to come in with him, and the best shot you have is Nico. So some patience for that blink could pay off. They're lining up for the top tier 1 once more, but Boom are just allowed to keep free farming in every single core, and it's going to be a problem. Maelstrom's up on Dreamo Cell. Once the BKB flies in on this Bloodseeker, just don't have anything to lock him down anymore.
A bauble from the void.
Dire's structures
Love the
are
fact that you
fortified.
tried to use the phrase "dead fish out of water," John. Just FYI, fish are generally dead
Dire's top
when they're out of
tower
water.
is under attack.
I realized that. I said dead, but I'm already going into the fish. Oh no.
That's all right.
Thanks, Captain
Palos
Obvious.
spot lane. Thank you. FBZ bullying along Palos.
Dire's
He
top
can't really
tower
farm this spot
fallen.
lane. This is just classic Timbersaw play, right? Like, this is what you want to do. You just want to haunt the other position 1. Just don't let them feel comfortable across the map. Palos, he'll still keep farming, but you can see him really starting to
Dire's
struggle to keep up
structures
with the
are fortified.
Bloodseeker.
It's not a great time. He's got a Battle Fury up, that's all. It's caught out. He's not going to be very tanky.
Speaking of being caught out, he's kind of caught out right now. And Hookshot is there. XctN, he really wants this kill, but Palos is not going down that easy. But the Cartram does fly out. Palos now very, very low. There's your Stampede. Nico, he wants to go in onto FBZ. They might have the damage output, and they do. A great start, but they're going to lose Palos, and they do lose Palos. As well as that, Yoe goes down the Void Spirit, and now BDZ's gone. Oh, Nico. He's going to try and find his way out along with RR. They'll commit the egg, but that's a real panicky kind of egg to throw out like that. And Nico, he's just holding onto this tier 2 bottom tower, praying they'll just leave him alone. And it looks like he'll get his wish. He's alone, but he's alive.
It's not a great feeling for the Centaur. Like, he doesn't manage to soak most of that damage. The rotation in was great. They find a kill in Timbersaw to that. That's one dead on Boom. Sure, FBZ is getting some words in his ears now. Just about dying in front there, ruining that perfect record. But Boomer's still looking great. 6k lead, 1 to 12, 17 minutes in. Palos just has no space to farm. Like, he's clearing out the Ancients now in the triangle. He really needs more items than just Battle Fury. The SNY is going to help him stand in front. The stat resist is really nice. But still, the pressure is really more on Yoe and more on Nico. They've got the blink up in the Centaur. They need to start getting some follow-up and getting some kills.
And going on to XctN, Makoto, however, already getting rid of RR, and XctN, he's not dead yet. He's still alive. The arrow now connecting right onto Nico, and that'll be your Centaur gone again. Onto BDZ. The Lion just can't sustain the damage output. But they're trying their best, but you run uphill like that with no vision to the side of Boom Esports, it's not going to work. Not when you're 7k behind.
And that was beautiful from XctN, getting the stun off mid-hoof stop to save himself, and then the rest of the team just follows up. XctN, the angles aren't good. They need more vision. They have really aggressive wards, I think they need defensive wards. They just need to control their map, play around, and punish Boom for diving this deep.
Onto Dreamer Soul, they've got the big one, the Bloodseeker, almost dead. Dreamer Soul, can they take him out? He's gonna run now with the Blood Rite. He's gonna be just fine on a slither of HP, and now poor old Nico, he will get shredded by FBZ. They will try to hide in the tree line with a nice 8 the Remnant setup. Onto Makoto, they'll get the buff. Great Remnant setup there from Yoez. BDZ now might just die in the line, but at least they got Makoto, and they might even get the clockwork now. And they do.
Perfect.
So all things being said and done, that wasn't too bad of a team fight. In fact, I do believe it went the way of Execration.
They got a little bit more. Killing off the puck was really big. Just a bit of an overextension there coming from Mikoto. Getting a bit too keen. You have to respect the Hex. You have to respect the line. There is good follow-up after your base shift as well with a Remnant. So there are some ways here for Execration to punish the deep dives. They are starting to find them. Seeing some good itemization coming out. Yoa is saving up for the Ags next. But you have to remember the BKB is already up and running on Dreamo Cell. So you might be able to control out the puck. There's no Yules here for Mikado. No way of purging off the silence. You're not going to lock in the Bloodseeker. You have to be careful going all in on that hero. And even going all in on FBZ, your viable target's really just punishing Mikado. And I think if Execration keep exploiting the aggression of Mikado, they can start to build back up here if they just keep finding that kill.
Well, they might have their chance now, but the only issue is, John, they've caught out Palos first. Gonna go for a spin away. Rupture is there onto the Jug, but they're gonna try and protect Palos here. Dream Coil also committed, Stampede. It's not going to be enough. Omni Slash committed, but Makoto, he just phase shifts it off. Yoe, he's also down to FBZ. BDZ, he's also gone. Are going to try and run, but FBZ, he's diving in base now. He's not going to go all the way, but he's showing you what he's made of.
Oh man, that was
He's letting you know.
messy. That was so messy for Execration. Palos had Rupture on. He still kept running around. Like, it's not a big damage when you're not running a long amount, but he kept going back and forth trying to dodge out or juke out some spell tosses that Boom might have wanted to do. It left him very vulnerable. And it's just a combination. Just Rupture to stop them, Dream Coil to stop them with Stampede. It's very hard for Execration to fight into Boom. What Execration need to do is play into their own strengths. Again, play with Nico's Blink, play with how fast Yoa can reach the front lines, get the pickoffs, and if you see the opportunity for an egg for RR, then they've got some tools for AoE as well. They do smoke up, they do not have finger, but they do have egg up here.
FYI, by the way, John, 322 Dream is alive, and we might just get the chance to get it right now as Execration. They're going to move in with the Dust sound. They pop 2 Dust, but Boom Esports, they're the ones running in. They don't really care about this. A great hook shot in from XctN, right onto Yoe. Past the team fight, Makoto in trouble, about to drop. The phase shift is out in time. The egg does explode Makoto. Still alive, but should die and does. And we won't quite get the 322, but we've got a 422 as Nico now to be chased down, but he will blink away. So they got Makoto again.
Is under attack.
Still not too bad, but you're losing Yoe in the process, and you're losing BDZ on top.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
It's not going to feel too amazing.
Dire's top tower is
It's
under
not the best
attack.
feeling. It's still good. Like, killing off Mikoto last time around gave them good bounce and gold back. It still gives him a little bit more from that last fight despite dropping Yoa. Ideally, the Void Spirit stays alive. We did have the 3-2-2 for just a second, right before Mikoto died, so it was there for maybe about 2 frames or something. The Dream was there, but Execration right now, they need to keep playing like that. Keep punishing Mikoto. He's the big one. Afterwards, it's down to the follow-up. RR, as long as he gets those good egg positions that we saw in the last fight, they can deny a big area that Boom wants to play with. And Execration, they're smoked up once more. They've got Finger back up, they've got Omni if they need it, and Stampede is just about half a minute away.
Oh, here we go again. XctN breaks the smoke. Hook shot is going to be off the mark, but Hyde gets in there with the Yule Scepter onto BDZ and locks him down with the arrow into the Starfall, and that's BDZ gone. XctN now, he'll hold down Palos. He's going to go for a spin TP out of there and might just make it, but I can't say the same for Nico. Will try to stand his ground, but he's really just not that tanky as the Centaur, and that net worth lead was 10k just a few seconds ago. Now it's 13k.
They're just getting so much from Boom. Execration keep trying to play aggressive like this, but again, they just don't have vision. Look at the map. There are 2 wards here from Boom, watching the triangle, 1 watching that bot jungle. Nothing from XctN. You're just going in completely blind. And I get that they're pressured when you're 13k behind, when you're 4 to 25, but they need information to make these plays. And I guess maybe expending a smoke just to drop a ward doesn't sound too bad, but they've been using them all just to force fights, and again, the payoff isn't quite there. Boom now, we haven't seen a move towards a Roshan. Perhaps that's the next objective they want, but they're just so tanky up front that it doesn't feel like they're even pressured to find that second life. Dreamosol, very close to the SNY, so he's going to have status resist on hand. He's going to be hitting harder, and it's going to be harder to burn him down with that additional strength as well. And that just allows him to stand in the front lines and toss his body forward.
Every time Moonlight Shadow's off cooldown, they just keep going for another team fight. Hyde, he's having a look for RR. Oh, what a hook shot in XctN! Oh, what a hook shot. He'll pop the egg, but there's no point. There is absolutely none. He's going to die. Yoe is going to try and fight. At decent Stampede and Hoopstop, they've got Makoto again. They've got the puck. The great start is FBZ now. Topping the Omni Slash. He's going to try and back himself out with the Yule Scepter. Dreamosol trying to find a way into the team fight. They'll go in onto the Centaur instead. Take down Nico first, they say. Centaur, really, again, just not that tanky. He'll die first. Now Palos will be chased down by Dreamosol. Will get BDZ onto Yoe now. He'll Astral step away, but FBZ is right there waiting, opening his arms for Yoe. Yoe doesn't really want to be here though. In fact, he has no choice in the matter. He has no Astral step charges left, and Dreamosol will walk out of there with a triple kill.
The prize is mine.
And I'll tell you what, John, this is why I was so happy
under
when
attack.
I saw Dreamosol was back with Boom Esports, because you could just see how well they coordinate as a team. It just wasn't the same without him, and now they just look amazing again.
Yeah, this is the Boom that we were missing a bit from Season 1. This is the Boom that, you know, we love to watch in previous tournaments, BTS Blue Series 4 and 5, even 3. They just play amazingly well as a stack of 5. They've developed so well throughout the past 2 years. XctN, they've got a lot to fight against. Roche just being melted here by Boom. They don't have Egg to run in there. They don't have Stampede just yet. But it's going to be a free objective for Boom. 2 lives up on either Dreamosol or SBZ is great. I'd say you might want that more in Mikato, but he still gets the job done even when he gets picked off in these fights. It takes so much commitment from XctN to just kill off a puck. Just the puck. It takes them the finger. They have to drop everything else on top of that. And even then, with numbers advantage, because you lack some tools after blowing out all on the slippery puck, it just feels like they lack follow-up going forward into the rest of the fight.
One lane now. Boom Esports, they see targets and they start moving their way over towards the south of the map, and there's your Moonlight Shadow again, John.
Dire are scanning.
They know where they are. Sentry was placed, Hex is out, but they've got the coil on Yoe. That's the big one. RR and BDZ backing right off, but Yoe, he had no way out. He's going to try and step his way out, but can he make it? Not quite. Dreamosol was waiting. He's just waiting for his free kill.
Dire's middle tower is under
Dreamosol's now 9-0-7 on this Bloodseeker, as it looks like they might try for the high ground.
Radiant's bottom tower
There's
is under
nothing to
attack.
stop them. There is an egg. The high ground for XctN is
under
pretty
attack.
good if they get a good position here for RR to pop that spell. But the tower just melts through.
Nico gonna jump in. That's a very risky hoopstomp to go for, but he does at least juke out the arrows. Now he goes right back in onto Dreamosol, but FBZ gonna use him up. Palos gonna try and chip away at the armor of FBZ. Boom, not feeling confident enough to keep going. Do need a bit of a reset. That'll allow XctN to get a bit more time going for themselves to get their farm up.
And this is really important for Palos. He's very close to his Ags. So 900 gold away. Once you have that, he has more uptime, more damage to play with a Swift Slash. It's not beholden to just the Omni Slash to find these pickoffs. And he could maybe try to bait out the phase shift here from Mikado. So some more options on hand for the Jug once that's up and running.
Radiant's bottom
The issue
tower
is
under
Boom are
attack.
just so far ahead. Like everyone else on the side of Boom's just overly farmed. Hyde is even above Yoe. When your Void Spirit's behind the pause for Murano, there are very big issues for your team there in terms of farm.
A lot of problems here. All eyes are going to be on Palos to see if he can get the Ags and kind of change the way this game goes, but it doesn't really feel that easy. At least the Ags will give him another way of dealing damage in these team fights, as They're about to lose their final outer tower here, Execration. They know they can't do much about it. Their only choice is going to be to defend the high ground.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Aegis is still up on Dreamer Soul, so they're going in. They're going to
Radiant's
try
top
for
tower
this.
is under attack.
Double damage.
All ultimates are up as well for both teams. Nico, he'll get started with the Hoop Stomp in and the Aether Remnant to lock down Dreamer Soul. And there's the egg being committed as well. Boom. Do they want to back off? It looks like they do. And they get everyone out of there. XctN been left behind, and he's going to die in the clockwork. That might be enough for Boom to back out of here. Be it, Boom. Hit around a bit. See, anyone is going to come out from that high ground. And in fact, Palos, close call for him. He's going to be very careful about where he farms.
Radiant
Are
are
indeed
scanning.
retreating, though.
Again, Execration here.
Will be easy. It'll be all right. Easy. He'll see Palos. That's the easiest way of locking him down. And now Nico, he's right in with the Sunray out from the Phoenix. FBZ just melts. Uh-oh. Boom Esports maybe getting a little bit confident, but there's a 4-man dream call out by Makoto. He already takes down BDZ into RR. They get the Phoenix. Now they go right onto Nico again. They want the Centaur dead, but Dreamer Soul has been called out and will lose the Aegis. That'll be one life. There goes Nico on the Centaur. He's gone as well. Back on a Dreamer Soul though. The Astral Step. He's still very healthy. BDZ, he's going to die back on the Lion. Now the hook shot in onto Palos, and he's gone. Maybe a bit of an early celebration there from Execration. Now Boom.
Radiant's middle tower
I don't know if they
is
feel
under
healthy
attack.
enough to go high ground, but I guess with no
Radiant
buybacks
structures
available
are
on 3 of the heroes on Execration, it's kind of like, why the hell not?
They don't have an egg to worry about as well, at the least. Once the Phoenix respawns, it is there. Really curious as to why Palos held onto the Omni Slash for so long. Like, if he just
Radiant's
Omni'd
middle barracks are
immediately on the second life, I think they might have had that kill in Dreamer Soul, and the fight could have gone very differently. But now, Rack's going to fall.
Radiant's
All
middle
Rack's kind of
barracks
exposed here.
has
All
fallen.
tier 3s are exposed up, so Doom
Radiant's
can look to
middle barracks
rotate if he
Radiant's
wants to
middle
force the issue,
tower
and
has fallen.
respawns are coming.
Oh, Hoop Stomp again from Nico. Again, it's onto Makoto. They want the puck down. They will get it. A decent start to this team fight as now they chase down Nico a little bit. He's going to be just fine. The Aether Remnant locks on a Dreamer Cell. He'll pop his BKB and try to fight this one out. He gets the bash on Nico. Nico will die in the blood right. Still, I suppose getting Makoto is going to be good enough here for Execration. But Boom Esports, they aren't going to try to push any further.
And they can just sit back, relax, wait for the puck to respawn. Next Roche, we're going to find out in about 2 minutes 20 when it's up. And Execration, I mean, they have some fight left in them. Palos can hit hard as long as he gets to use the Swift and Omni Slash on top. And the egg is starting to get really good here from RR. And the sustain out from the Sunray is just a bit much to play with when you commit onto the Centaur. So there's some hold from Execration. Boom, though, they're just still really scary. Like, the damage coming out from Mikado is huge. He's got a BKB off, ready to go. I believe he didn't have it for the last fight, or at least didn't have it off cooldown, although...
Yoa,
Yeah,
he does step in, but not going to lead to much.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that gave them
Dire's
Mikado
middle
there is the
tower
fact
is
that
under attack.
he didn't have his BKB ready. Like, didn't manage to get the charge offs. The Ag silence here from Yo is doing some good work. He needs his own BKB. He's saving for that next. And once he has that up, that should help him with the control coming through from Boom. The Ags for Mikado to counteract those BKBs is still a way off, about 2,200 gold away. So still a little bit more build up for Boom to counteract that spell immunity, but it does feel like Mikado should line that up quite nicely. Love the Scotty pickup here as well from Dreamer Soul. It just means that the sustain from this Phoenix and the healing ward, it's not going to be enough anymore up against this really strong Bloodseeker.
Definitely a very smart kind of item choice there by Dreamer Soul for sure.
Dire
Now we see the
are
Moonlight
scanning.
Shadow coming out again. Time around, it looks like they are aware that they are in biz, so Execration are right back onto the high ground. Boom is still
Radiant
moving
are
south.
scanning.
Nice scan though. It's gonna scout them out. Execration do anything with this information though. I think they are still very reliant on taking these fights near their towers. they haven't really got much of a choice. They've got to just kind of sit back and
The prize is mine.
take it easy until the side of Boom come back. Or maybe with the Aghanim Scepter on Nico, perhaps they feel confident, but I don't think it'll be enough.
It's really good damage reduction, so you're going to be able to keep your Jug alive a lot longer. It's a good spike for the Centaur, and they're going to try their luck. They do smoke up here on the side of Execration.
40% damage reduction with that Centaur Aghanim Scepter now. See if it makes the difference. Their triangle. They'll spot out Hyde first. They'll go straight in on the Mirana, and that'll be Hyde gone. Good start. What do they want next, though? Looks like BDZ is being chased down the line. There's your Stampede out now. They go right back in onto Makoto, but a hook shot in from Kescu will take down BDZ, and now the Phoenix in trouble. RR trying to back off. Dreamercell just ripping them apart. He's just cleaning them up. On to the last one. Palos. He's going to try and run. Yoe, he's back in the D5 with his buyback, but it may not last very long as he's been silenced up. He yields himself now, but the cogs are there, and Dreamercell, he wants a rampage. Let's have the fountain. Why the hell not? Dreamercell, he's going to try for it. He may not make it in time. The Ghost of the do it. Starfall, no. Oh, how on.
Oh, man.
Well, with that, John, there's no rampage to finish off the.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. With crimson secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. colors creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Completely different. You and I.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I
Playing this FBZ on the Pango is another special of his. We just saw the effect of his Timber Saw. Pango is kind of the same deal for FBZ. Just needs to hit certain times here, and they already catch out Palos.
Uh-oh. Well, Palos has been caught out on the Drow range, and he's going to try and run for it, but with the Poison Touch slow, it's not looking great for him. One more hit will do it and hide. He doesn't want to take the kill. He'll let Makoto take it with the Poison Touch damage, and now RR is also going to die to FBZ. That is a perfect start if I've ever seen one, and props to Hyde for understanding how that did, because he literally just left the hero to run away. Let the first blood go the way of his mid does.
It's just beautiful. Mikado off with 2 kills already. And you're going to be very
The
pleased with
battle
just having all that added gold. Mikado's already ferrying out his null, and that makes the lane a lot harder to hold. You do still manage to run away here on the side of Execration. It's an even 2-for-2 trade. You're not going to be hurting too much, but Yo is going to have a bit of a ride here ahead. He does get ferried out 8 sentries. Try to regain control of his runes. Watch the movements out from Boom, because you've got this issue once more. You've got a Lion and a Phoenix that can rotate. Now, it still doesn't sound as great as last time with the Mirana clock, but it's still really potent, and there is so much more potential for Boom to be aggressive. Like, for the side of Execration, you've got a Snap who can rotate, and a Nyx. It's still great, but it takes a little bit more effort to line up those shots. And Yoe!
Makoto, he's going right in. He'll get the first, not first blood, but the first kill in the mid lane. Makoto just straight soloing the Ember at level 1. Yoe not going to have the greatest start apparently on this Ember, and that's not going to feel very good for him.
And we've seen Dazzle mid matchups against melee heroes a couple of times now, or at least once. And the Dazzle can really just bully out. That was still level 1. Now you've got Wave Up, you can force back Yoe through that Flame Guard faster. And Yoe is really going to have to watch his space. And even his Sentry is not getting value here, as he's not able to de-ward. So it's just so hard to hold. Makoto now at level 3, he's going to have fantastic time down mid.
Certainly. See Yoe, he tries to come back, but as soon as he gets close, Makoto is just going to give him the Poison Touch, start harassing him out, and it's going to be a very hard time for Yoe. We'll see if they bring some help in to try and give him a bit of a helping hand. But in the other lanes, though, well, top lane, you do see BDZ falling quite low on the Snapfire. He'll be there with Nico on the Mars, and of course, Dream Missile and Kescute are going to be against him in that top lane. Now, I don't know how to feel about this lifesteal. Personally, to me, John, it feels like a bit of a weak hero. Am I wrong in saying this? Do you believe? Well, actually, hold that thought, because top lane, they are, or rather bot lane, they are going onto the Drow Palos. Is going to die. FBZ and Hyde setting up another kill for themselves, and every lane so far just seems to be going the way of Boom Esports again.
They're just bullying out the slower start for Execration. Their heroes on Execration's end need GXP. Like, the Drow just can't save herself stuck at level 1. You're going to need level 2, even level 3s where it starts to feel better. You don't necessarily want to invest in Gust very early on with the next partner, so there's so much more leeway here for Boom to throw their bodies forward and keep getting control up. Going back to the Lifestealer, I honestly think it's pretty nice. Like, again, you've got that change to Feast for doing health damage again, and it just punishes all these high HP heroes. We saw a game where Lifestealer, yeah, it was off to a really slow start, but there was still some fight in it. And you managed to get ahead and farm, it can actually be really potent, and it takes away so much from Execration. Like, their combinations, none of it really pierces spell immunity. So as long as Dream Missile's quick enough in the fingers, he can really just control these fights.
Here we go again. Hyde trying to chase down RR. Take the boundary rune away from the Nyx assassin. Lock him down too long, but nice damage out.
Wrong.
Look back to that mid lane for a second, John. I mean, it's such a difference between the two, right? Like, you've got a 19-8 Makoto in terms of CS. Yoe sitting at 10-0 on the Ember. In terms of levels, Makoto is going to out-level him by 1. It just hurts a lot, right? When you've got an Ember Spirit as well, who kind of relies on getting a quick Maelstrom up, this isn't going to feel very good.
It's really not. And at the least, the Dazzle has a point in the mid game where he kind of feels weak, maybe around the 15-minute mark to 20 until he gets that short. It's a pretty exposed time for the Dazzle, so that's something the Ember can look to play around once he gets some catch-up form. XctN, it's almost the same story as game 1. 0-4, 2k lead for Boom. No kills on the board yet for XctN, and with such an aggressive patch, you don't want to be sitting at 0 kills. You want to make something happen in these lanes. The supports just can't leave these side lanes. They're just kind of struggling finding that security on their side lanes as well. Palos needs RR around because his farm's not going amazingly well. 15-5. It's getting a lot more out from Boom, and that does hurt the cause. Like, maybe once they get some levels up, maybe you get level 6 up on Nico or on Yoe, you can start to make some work on the map. Until then, you're just giving Boom so much lead. Well, look at Mikado again. Level 6, Yoe is still at 4.
Dark light.
He's trying, but Makoto's just going to annoy him underneath the tier 1 tower now. Poison touch out. Yoe did not manage to avoid that with the Sleight of Fist. He might just be dead. There's TPs coming in from BDZ, but Makoto gets the kill. Is he going to stay alive though? The Dazzle gets quickly stunned up on BDZ. Does at least get a trade going. But Makoto's still going to be very happy with that. He understands with the Ember, just shutting him down like this is going to make Yoe's life very hard throughout this game, and it's obviously going to put a lot more pressure on someone like Nico on the Mars, who's going to really have to set the tempo for the team.
I mean, the moment you leave that Mars alone, you saw a bit of movement out from Boom to apply the aggression on the bot.
We are trying to go in onto the Drow Ranger. But now Palos going to be alright, but FBZ is going to chase him down. Swashbuckle in 1 second, but he won't have the chance to use it. Instead, he will just make use of it to get out of that scenario. But you can also see down this bot lane the fact that Palos has not been able to free farm whatsoever. Sitting at 19-8, it's not amazing at all. In fact, Dream Missile's almost doubling him up in terms of CS right now as they try to go in onto the Nyx assassin. Earth Spike is going to land. RR still trying to run, but now XctN has shown up on the Phoenix. That'll be another one. Hyde will take it on the Lion. And John, that's another thing we talked about during the drafting phase, is the importance of Hyde being able to get a quick Blink Dagger. But just based off the way he's playing this game, it looks like it's not going to take too long.
Definitely won't. You're hitting all the spikes here for Boom. The aggression is shaping up well. They've basically left Dreamos alone up top, and there's no punishment. Like, Nico has his Snapfire around, BDZ's around in the area to try and help out. You just can't really pressure a Lifestealer. You can just rage up, run away, and your combination falls flat. So Boom, they're starting to do a bit of a shove-in bot. They've got the siege creep up. FBZ can't necessarily commit. It's not the same as the Timbersaw, but you're still getting some good chip damage done. And it forces Yoe to actually show up bot. He's got the haste to walk back mid if he wants to, but this is a bit of a risky spot for our Ember.
Rune of haste.
Yoe might be in trouble. He's just hit level 6 now, but he's going to get stunned up anyway. FBZ lands it. He'll remnant the other way, but they were waiting. Or maybe not. He does not get the Earth Spike off Yoe. He does take the kill and back off. In fact, never mind backing off. He's right in onto the Phoenix. XctN going to try and run. He has already committed the Icarus dive, and that should mean Yoe can find himself a secondary kill here. And does. A nice double kill now for the Ember. Might help him catch up in this game.
Helps the cause out for Yoe. He just hit 6 right there. A really good use of that level spike for him. You are giving a lot of space out to Mikado down mid, but this is a lane Palos can hold a lot better. He's a ranged hero. He's not under pressure from the Shadow Wave. It's harder to land that Poison Touch on the Drow, so Mikado might not be able to bully out Palos as much. He still has a massive level advantage. You will have to watch that. And XctN now with kills on the board. You're starting to get some space out. Nico has his level 6 as well. So you've got the arena ready. You've got the kisses ready on BDZ. XctN should look to play with these level spikes. Play with the arena and the kisses and start to force
lane, Makoto. They want the big one. They want the Dazzle, and they might just get it. With the Mortimer's Kisses to fly in, I have plenty of damage, and
didn't need to see your
FBZ,
Nyx.
he does
I
get the
could
Nyx
smell
Assassin,
you
but it is
coming from
nowhere
miles
near
away.
worth it. And that's what you want to see from Execration, punishing the fact that Makoto doesn't have anything to save him like the Shallow Grave, but now FBZ is going to be in danger as the spear comes in from the side. And they get another. In Execration, they're right into the mid lane now.
They can still push towers really well, and we've got DDZ. Doesn't have the little shredder, but Palos does have the marksmanship up. A lot of damage flying through to the tower, finding that space, and Boom can't allow this to fall, but it's just not too fast.
Dire's middle
Does as
tower
Yoe, he
has
wants to keep
fallen.
going further.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Keep up with the Phoenix, XctN will Icarus dive out, but with that mid-tier 1 gone now, Execration already having a much better time than last game. Open up the map a little bit. Might need to go back and farm a bit though. I mean, they are still quite behind in terms of gold, but
Give it. Dazzle.
apart from that, things are going decent.
They've managed to secure control under triangle, so they've got some good stacks to clear out here for Palos. Still saving up for his Dragonlance, and that item did get slightly buffed, so should feel better on the Drow now. This is the moment where Boom might have to be a bit cautious. You know, Mikado went for the Midas on the Dazzled, as we tend to see.
Radiant's bottom
This is the moment
tower
where your
is under
Dazzled's
attack.
not doing as much to bully out these here. You need to wait for those item
Radiant's bottom
timings, wait
tower
for
has
at
fallen.
least your level 2 bad juju feels a little bit better, but you know, you need some regen on hand. Maybe the Guardian Greaves comes in first. The key thing is that they've freed up so much space for Dreamosol. He takes down the bot tower, he's free farming, he's not being run down by enemy heroes. So the armlet timing for Dreamosol should be pretty damn nice, and could be tricky locking him in. Again, with the armlet and with Rage on top, it doesn't feel like they have enough physical damage outside of Talos to deal with that life stealer yet.
Try with the sleight of fist out. Dreamosol fine to back out. Well, Dreamosol not too interested in fighting without that armlet up. More than happy to just farm that up and top lane.
Radiant
Esports
are scanning.
grouped up, they're going to defend that tier 1 top tower, but Execration have made their way up as well, as Nico is going to go in with the arena and the spear right in onto XctN to get the Phoenix. Now Boom, they want to try and turn right back around onto BDZ, they'll get one. FBZ, the Rolling Thunder does connect onto Palos. Dreamosol is making his way in, but BDZ, he'll buy it back immediately, and they want to try and turn now. Back on to FBZ, the spear does land from Nico. If they close the gap, they definitely can, but they will lose their miles in the process. All things said and done, not too bad, but I think the buyback there from BDZ is going to make it a bit more worthwhile now for Boom Esports.
And they're going to be happy about forcing that out from the Snap. It slows down the Snapfire's potential build-up. Anti-Ags, as we've seen, support Snapfire is still enjoying that item. Core Snap's basically non-existent for the most part, so you're slowing down the pace for these item timings on the supports. From Execration, Boom, they get a kill here for Dreamosol. So again, he's fairly happy. He's got the armlet up now on the Life Sealer. I love the target prioritization there from FBZ. He just kind of ran down Palos. It's just that there was no follow-up. So they got the target prioritization right. They do have some levels up on Execration. With RR, with a Vendetta, they could look to make some plays.
Kodo again being caught out with the Mortimer's Kisses. He has the Shallow Grave this time, and he's going to try and TP out, and it looks like he's going to make it. It's Dreamosol now moves into this team fight. He wants to go after RR first. Finger is there from Hyde. There will be no TPing to this Nyx Assassin. The idea was correct, right? You just keep picking on Makoto, because he's a pretty vulnerable target, but at least with level 1 Shallow Grave, he can survive.
That's not good news. They commit the kisses out there as well. They didn't have enough damage on hand just
Dire's
from
top
Yoe
tower is under
and from
attack.
RR, so they don't really get what they want there. They drop the Nyx, and they can try to pressure the side lanes.
Dire's
Palos has space up top to shove into tier 1. The bot tier 2
Dire's
was being
top
pressured by
tower
Boom
is under
just a
attack.
bit, so they're not completely losing out here. And Boom, even after expending that finger, they are smoked up top.
They are. But they aren't going to find anyone. Creation have successfully backed out at the right time. There's no harm in Execration just continuing this farm up. Still a long way to go in terms of net worth.
Flames will spread thrice.
As well as that, on the side of Boom Esports, like I think you are still looking for that Blink Dagger on Hyde, which it's going to be coming pretty soon, it looks like. Bot lane, RR. Scouting out for his team. The FBZ and Dreamosol. Smoke here from Execration. They're moving in now with the rather important start, but the spear. Oh, he missed the spear. Well, there's not much about that one, John. That's a pretty big mistake, as FBZ's now going to roll in. He's been caught out of the Nyx Assassin. Going to try and somehow survive this, but they have the control and they will take him out. Oh, and that is a very unfortunate arena spear out from Nico. I guess he wasn't really expecting the impel, perhaps, but he's got a bit too excited.
That's a huge loss for Execration. That was Nico's blink reveal as well in the Mars. And if they caught out DreamWhistle, it would have been very worthwhile. But now, Dream should be able to adjust that blink timing. You should be aware that the blink arena is the go-to initiation, if not the Vendetta. And Execration is going to have to work even harder to catch some heroes out here. 7-12. 3k lead for Boom, so it is looking better for Execration this game. You are getting some good space out on Palos. Does have his Dragon Lance up. The Drow is fairly safe from her attack range. She's got some good strength pad out, and they do jump in, but Nico misses again.
Captured in the flame.
Still on FBZ, thanks to Yoe.
Under attack.
Remnant in, and they do get the kill. Definitely a great kill there for Execration. Still mid lane. It's another team fight, but Hyde already out with the finger. Does try to give it back to himself.
Attack.
Spy Carapace there. Hyde now just trying to run. Sunray is there from Kesku. Not doing too much, and Boom, I think they're in a bit of an awkward pickle position here now. As well, they've got to find their way out, and it looks like they will.
Dire's top tower is under
They're
attack.
trying to make these early team fights work. I think it might be a little bit awkward with the mid dazzle right now.
Dire's top tower has
So
fallen.
you don't really have that much going on with Makoto at the
Radiant's
moment, so
bottom
it
tower
might be
is
a little
under
bit challenging to really get a good team fight going.
Yeah, it's that moment where the Dazzle's just kind of weak. Like, you do have a lower cooldown mech on hand. It doesn't really get crazy until you get the Guardian Greaves and the level 3 bad juju. Until then, you know, it's nice, but you need to wait. A bit more patience here from Boom. They can play as 4 in that case. I mean, you're ready to go here on DreamWhistle. He's just walking forward every time. He's got the Sanj up.
Radiant's
That
middle
little bit
tower
more
is under
stat
attack.
resist and a little bit more amp on his
Radiant
life steal makes him
structures are
very hard to
fortified.
pierce down. You have nothing to stop all that regen on hand in the life steal here. No natural ways of stopping that shield.
Radiant's middle tower.
Like it's going to be a nice setup there from our Lion. Have the mech up now, Makoto, so bit of heal coming out as FBZ is going to jump in. Yoe has been hexed up by Hyde. Have enough lockdown there. Yoe, it's turned right back around now onto Boom. DreamWhistle looks like he's going to be the one that gets targeted. Fine. Boom. They got what they came for. Get back to the farming game now.
Just slowly build up. They still have the 3k lead up. I mean, Paulus has a lot of space. Issue is Drow doesn't feel like it flash farms fast. Like, he had a 3 lane top, and it's just not amounting to much. DreamWhistle still ahead by a significant amount, 1.4k ahead on both DreamWhistle and Makoto.
No. Bot lane. They missed the spear again.
Oh no.
Oh boy. FBZ, he's gonna roll his way out. And I know we may have not have seen that on the screen for a second, but yeah, there is a lot of pressure, but it feels like these spears need to land. Otherwise, Boom, they're gonna have their way in this game. Time is ticking. Makoto is gonna be a real problem later on this core Dazzle.
Yeah, it's just ticking away. The Guardian Greaves just the recipe away, and that's 400 gold off for Mikado. And once you hit that point, it's going to be really hard to kill off any of these heroes. Execration, none of them building up for, say, a casual Spirit Vessel here just to slow down the regen themselves. The Scotty might come out for Palos down the line on the Drow, feasible enough, but he has to go for the BKB first, maybe go for the SNY completion first for his own stat resist and strength padding, and that just takes a lot of farm. Boom. Well, they're smoked up. They know they can be aggressive right now. They've got the blink on high.
Oh, they found the big one. They found Palos on the Drow. They even commit the egg, just in case. You wouldn't expect Palos to be alone like that, I suppose. Boom just making sure they cross all the boxes, and that they do. Onto the tier 1 top tower they go, and DreamWhistle will just calmly take care of it by himself.
Radiant structures are
No help
fortified.
necessary.
I love this item build up from
Dyer's top
Dream
tower is under
Immediate
attack.
Heaven's Halberd up after
Radiant's
the
top tower is
armlet.
under
So now,
attack.
even if that drown somehow stays alive, you've got Disarm to prevent any sorts of damage coming out. The BKB might help the cause here for Palace and Lane. Maybe Duke round surround himself.
Right, well, this time around, they do get the initiation, and that's what you want to see. They get the big one. Dreamer's Soul goes down. Yoa will
Dyer's
take the
bottom
kill,
tower
and
is under attack.
with a lot of XP and gold there to kill off that life stealer. So maybe just waiting around a bit too long, get punished.
That's just a bit greedy from Dreamer Cell standing in front, farming that wave after, although they are surrounding here.
There we go. Mid lane, Hex is out onto Yoe with the follow-up stun, and now the rolling boulder, or rather rolling thunder, but they don't have enough damage. Yoe, he's gonna turn around. Yes, dude.
Just a touch.
Heal up with the Guardian Greaves. Palos is coming in now. A nice Earth Spike, but they've caught Makoto. The Dazzle does die. Execration, they could keep going for more.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They might even find it. FBZ? No, he's going to be all right. Hyde. Earth Spike not going to be on target. Yoet has TP the last second, and now FBZ gets punished for coming back in. Hyde is going to try and run, but they're going to chase him down. And this is much, much better from Execration now. It feels like they've finally warmed up here in this game too.
Yeah, they're getting the punishment off on Boom. Boom just kind of trickling in one by one. A lot of their damage really is on Dreamo Cell for the most part, and on Hyde's Finger. If you have those spells down, it's not like the Dazzle has a lot of damage going in. Like, sure, you can spam out the Poison Touch. Great. The Bad Juju builds up minus armor, but no one really hits hard. You could maybe argue FBZ can, but he's not quite itemized for that point yet. So Execration are again punishing this downtime on Boom's item spikes, and that's the key. They need to keep playing fast while they're strong, especially once Palos has his BKB up. They need to maximize that spell immunity on the Drow. Just stand forward, puzzle while level 18's not yet up, because once Mikado has level 18, you're talking about 100% uptime basically on Shallow Grave, and that is not something you want to fight into, especially if Mikado positions himself nicely. As long as he's far enough away from the silence, there's nothing to threaten the Dazzle and just keeping anyone alive throughout the entire fight.
Tell me, John, do you predict that we'll see a Spell Prism out from Makoto later on?
Sure, if the game goes long enough, maybe a Quickening Charm in the interim to have that up. That would be very nice and very balanced for a Dazzle. We've seen that before. I think this
balance, by the way, John. Palos ended up getting a Grove Bow on the Drow, which is fairly standard. Every game we cast with a Drow in it, there's a Grove Bow every single time.
Tower is under attack.
Well, in they go onto that bot tier 2 tower as Execration. They're going to start a Roshan instead. I like this decision from Execration.
Yeah, they can clear the Roche really fast. They've got good physical damage on hand. They already have the Solar Crest up here on RR for the debuff, but they immediately pull back. They saw the TPs coming in on the outpost, so don't want to tempt fate here.
BZ, he does pop the Rolling Thunder a bit preemptively. And that might be the opening Execration needs. Not that big ulti now from FBZ, they might be able to take a pretty big team fight. Dream Assault, front lines.
Shallow wave.
So they aren't going to try and force it. On top of that now, they even have a BKB coming out on Palos. It really feels like a great time to force a Roshan fight if you're Execration. They might just try now. You see moving in, they see Dreamer's Soul, they've got to land some kind of stun. Won't, they'll let him get out of there. Teams will leave the Roshan pit for now.
A bit of a poke war there. There is a smoke out here from Execration. It's only on supports though. Pretty risky for them to jump in. But Yoa can follow up if they want to.
Interest now on Hyde. Link in at any moment. Roshan's being started again. Hyde looking for a target. Is going to go straight into the back lines. It looks like they found the snap by BDZ, but they've lost Hyde. In the process, the BDZ is actually going to manage to run out of there as Makoto now. Or rather, the Phoenix was in trouble. Arena dropped by Nico to hold them down, but he needs some follow-up. Here comes Palos, though, with the Drow. Just get the arrows in. Dream Assault dies. Makoto dies. It looks like FBZ has also been caught. He will try to swash away, but the X-Stun excuse me, the impale was there from RR. And now they can definitely get this free Roshan for themselves.
That's a massive win for XctN. Game swings their way now. 16-13, 2K lead up for XctN. Boom, their target prioritization is just not quite lining up well enough. The damage output of our Life Stealer is just not amazing. Yeah, you've got the Halberd, you've got the Armlet. When you're not hitting a sprint here, it just doesn't feel great, and Palos just making really good use of that BKB. Just a massive spike for the Drought to take these fights. Now you've got the Aegis as well. Really easy push onto tier 2. Boom, respawns are short enough that they can contest this. They are kind of moving in for defense, so not going to fall just yet. Boom needs some patience. They need more farm on Dreamosol. They need more levels up on Mikato. And Mikado's going to need something defensive. Like, the Guardian Greaves is nice, but he kind of pops it preemptively. He can't save it for silences on himself. And he really needs to purge that silence off. Once he's controlled up, your Dazzle just can't win. Maybe once you have the Force Staff, you can just spam that around. But for now, the utility of Dazzle is just waiting for that level 18 spike. No shards yet on Mikado as well. He does have the Force Staff flying in, but you really need that AoE Hex now if you want to get that initial control in these fights and start finding that key pick off in the backline. Palos cannot be allowed to just stand there and get his right clicks off.
I believe Makoto ended up going for a 4-star first. It's that defensive item you talked about, and he's actually going for an Aether Lens. I'm opting for this.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, Execration, with an Aegis up, definitely want to go for a team fight. Gonna smoke up. Mid lane, they'll see Dreamer Cell. This is very dangerous for the lifesteal. And, oh, the spear's off the mark. And the rage was quite fast, so it may not have mattered. Dreamer Cell, almost expecting that to happen, does now back off towards the south of the map, pushing the bot tier 2 tower.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Looks like a bit of nerves kicking in here.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
These spears, again, they're going to be very important this game.
I mean, you managed to at least get some space out here for the side of Execration. They just keep shoving that top lane. Tier 2's already gone, so they've got control off the top jungle. They can look to clean up the mid tier 2 if they wanted to. Got all the units on hand.
Oh. They lock him down, they get the arena down, and they just burst down the Pangolier immediately. Photo now, he TP'd him, but by himself. They're gonna try and rush him. They won't.
Middle tower has fallen.
Tier 2 mid tower, and without FBZ up, they want to go high ground for a bit.
It's when you lack your Pango, you lack your team fight. You need that rolling from control. They're gonna rotate down.
Next time,
Now hide. Taken out.
which target needs killing.
They're trying to slow down Palos on this Drow Ranger, but Nico easy, and he gets a nice spear off into the tier 3. Shallow Grave is going to save the day from Makoto. Not really much saving that tier 3 tower, however, as Palos is just not giving up on it. Does end up finishing it off. Boom, I mean, they're still kind of just looking for an answer here with their draft. It never feels like Dreamercell's able to really close the gap on the Lifestealer, and of course for Makoto, he's on a Dazzle, right? He's not going to be that gap closing hero you need. It seems like they are going to be relying more so on FBZ and Hyde, but hasn't been panning out quite yet.
Coordination's been falling a bit flat for Boot. Execration working much better together as a team. They've got a lot of BKBs on hand now as well. You've got the fresh BKB on Yoe. You've got the fresh BKB here. Well, not fresh. One charge down on Nico. So all of your cores can stand and fight in the middle. And that just takes away your line, takes away the impact of your Phoenix as well. And it makes it very hard for Boom to find that initial control. They are almost reaching the point where Dazzle hits level 18. So again, you're going to hit that massive spike in terms of spamming your spells out, spamming out the Guardian Greaves, spamming out the Shallow Grave. But we're still not seeing that build up into the shard. Mikado is just ignoring it completely, opting for the Solar Crest instead.
Double damage.
Lane's still going to be in danger. That rage is about to wear off, but he's trying to get himself up to the high ground. Gust is out. They found one. It's going to be Hyde going down onto Makoto. They'd love to get themselves a Dazzle as Yoe continues moving forward with a TD, and now Nico. A great arena spear round will catch the Dazzle. FBZ, he tried to help on the Pango, but there's not much he can do. Boom Esports, they are falling apart in this game number 2.
Execration just
Dire's
playing
middle
around
barracks are
that
under
stall
attack.
immunity really nice. They know that they have to be aggressive now. Boom cannot be allowed to get any sort of catch-up form. The racks are exposed, they're going to be able to push in. There's no Aegis on Palos. He's a bit more vulnerable, but it's not like Boom has a great way of reaching back. They just haven't been able to get creation of FPZ in this game at all.
Dire's middle barracks.
Certainly not. Execration showing their teeth in this game too as the spear does come out again onto the Phoenix and
Dire's
Nico.
top tower is under
Very
attack.
happy when we talked about that one. Dreamer Soul going to TP in.
Radiant's middle
But they aren't going
tower
to
is
try to
under attack.
initiate. They are still lacking 2 heroes. At least they do force back Execration now. And Execration, I'm sure they're more than happy to just keep a farm game going.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They've got a massive lead now. 9k at 29 minutes in, a lot to play with. They get the Desolator up and running on Nico, so the armor reduction is going to be ridiculous for their Drow. Palace is just going to hit
Radiant's
that much
middle
harder
tower
here.
is under attack.
Boom, they've got some shining moments. They've got the Quickening Charm on hand, but Mikado's not carrying it. They're not prioritizing the ultra-low cooldowns on the Dazzle just yet. I think you've got to do it. You've just got to play with max level GG with the Quickening Charm and just ensure that you can keep spamming those spells out. Ensure that you can keep getting off Shallow Grave, getting off the Guardian Greaves off. Boom, they're playing in the right spot for the map. They've got their wards down bot. They're safe here. They've got information here. But Execration's doing the same thing. They're just playing top. They've got a lot of wards watching that top jungle. And it's just really hard for Boom to get any sort of pick off, get any sort of kill that can drag them back up because Execration just knows where to be.
Execration, they're going to try again. Esports, they're heading down to that bot side of the map. PZ rolling thunder, they got the Hex off onto Nico with the egg committal. They will commit everything. But while they're doing that, the top lane is being forced in by Execration, and Boom will have to immediately respond to it. They want a team fight. Well, that is a really nice rage out from Dreamer Cell. He'll chase down the Drow Ranger now, but Palos is actually fairly tanky. He'll turn right back around. The stuns were there with the Impale, the Shallow Grave out for Makoto, but is it enough? Dreamer Cell is still just falling slowly but surely, and they will get rid of him. Now Makoto, he gets chained up. The Mortimer Skits do fly in with the cast down. That's it, GG's called. They want no more of this game number 2 as Execration really show up and
Radiant.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. With crimson secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Jack it up.